Colorado is home. It'll always be home. I like the idea that I can go and get up and go wherever I'd like and come back here. I was offered a show here in Denver, and I was trying so hard to make this show like super cool, but I was forcing it. I didn't know what I was gonna do, and I was at my drafting table and I saw there was a matchbook there, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna paint on this, but then there was a dime next to it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna paint on this, but it's gonna be smaller than a dime. Whatever I'm painting, I have to paint that. I don't really like plan it out. It's just instinctive, like this has to be done. And that is authentic to me because I think that's where the individual part comes through of taking a step outside of the boundaries, and you really don't know where that line is until you cross it. I've had a lot of people say, we don't know what you're gonna put up, but we know it's gonna be good. And that's a good feeling, like not being predictable. This particular piece, when I saw the logo for Arta, they had the sugar skull, which is something I'm very familiar with, like growing up in the Mexican or Latin American community. It's a huge part of tradition, the sugar skulls and the Day of the Dead or Dia de los Muertos, and it's something that I've been familiar with. One thing that stands out for me is the bottle. It's not a classical style bottle. I think it's a really awesome bottle, so that's kind of individual thing that stands out. Tequila, piñatas, and carne asada, that seemed to be like, I related to that. Tequila has always been around every celebration. It could have been a quinceañera, it could have been a birthday party, it could have been a funeral, it could have been a wedding. Even if you are taking traditional techniques, go ahead and use those, but what can you add to it to make it your own? And I see that the same thing like with tequilas. There's all these traditional ways of doing it, but then what are you gonna do to, switch it up? I chose matchbooks to challenge myself, to give that value to something. And I enjoy them. They're fun, they're still challenging, and I think that's why it works so well, because it's something that I need right now to explore. Cheers to big dreams and small canvases.